Hey everybody, what is up? It's Taylor here with another Taylor's Take. This time I'm fresh out of the quantum realm. That's right, I'm at the AMC Burbank 16 where I just saw Antman 3, Quantumania. I saw it in Dolby. I would recommend, if you're going to see this movie in theaters, Dolby. I was tempted to see it in IMAX, but the timing worked out for me better to see it in Dolby, and the sound was great. The sound was, especially in the quantum realm, hearing all the different creatures, hearing the ants, the music. The score of this movie was definitely a highlight for me. I'll start with my highlights, and I'm gonna try not to go into spoilers. Highlights for me, score. The costuming, for some reason this Ant-Man suit was the best they've had ever. Like, it just looked so much more vibrant. The red just looked so much deeper. It looked great. Wasp's costume was great. Cassie Lang's costume. The purple's my favorite color. When Kang finally got his suit, I loved the colors that they used. It looked so great. Costuming, definitely a highlight for me in this film. Another highlight, I would say, well, I'm torn on this one. I was very, very intrigued when I heard they were adding Modoc to this, right? When he has his like battle armor on, he's a bad bitch. He's a bad hot potato, you guys. But the second that visor thing comes off and he's just the big head, it completely took me out of the film. I wish, honestly, he was just in the suit the whole time and that's just how he looked. The head thing, it was used too many times. The guy was overused. It was just very distracting. So the highlight of Modoc would be the way he looked with the armor on, the battle armor on, his purple lasers, just the way he sounded with the robotic voice. That was really cool to me. For things that I didn't really like about this movie, I would say the fact that 95% of it took place in the quantum realm. I was a huge fan of what happened in season 1 of The Mandalorian with the volume. I thought it was game-changing. However, I'm ready to move away from that. I think it's also being overused, and it's reaching its limitations of what it can do without straining the story and straining the actors and just feeling, I don't know, just feeling like boxed in. So in this movie, it's just it's like present the whole film, you can just tell. I wish there was more practical stuff in it, more real life stuff in it, because when the movie starts and it's in the real world, I like that stuff. And then just, you know, it's just a bunch of characters with CGI for the next 2 hours. So I wish we could move away from that. But I would say overall, this movie for me is just like a mid-tier Marvel film. It's not one of my favorites, but it's also not, you know, piece of shit. I thought some of the comedy worked for me. Problem I had with Thor: Love and Thunder was the comedy was way too much. It just really was distracting to me. I feel like the majority of the comedy in this film worked for me. It wasn't too distracting from the story. There was a couple jokes that didn't land for me, and it was like, oh, I could have done without them. But the most exciting thing about this film, and the highlight, the absolute highlight, was Kang. When Jonathan Majors was on the screen, my theater was dead silent. Like, you could hear a pin drop. He is badass in this movie. Definitely the highlight. I cannot wait to see him return. I'm going to get into a little bit of spoilers now with the 2 post-credit scenes. That's right, there's 2 with this film. The first one was so fun to see the Council of Kangs and just to see all the different variants of Kang popping up as they're gonna have this giant meeting in this huge arena. I was smiling the whole time, just seeing all the different versions of him. That's so exciting for me. The second post-credit scene was something I was expecting. It's a little quick peek at season 2 of Loki. I just wish it was a little bit longer. It honestly felt like 5 seconds. And I could have done with another 30 seconds. Just a little bit more of a tease of what's to come with Loki season 2. Overall, I would say I would check out Ant-Man Quantumania in the theaters. I am curious. I might come back for a second viewing to see it in IMAX just because I want to see it in that premium format as well. But for now, I would say Dolby's the way to do it. It just sounds great. But let me know in the comments down below if you guys come check out Quantumania this weekend, what you guys think, and which format you see it in. And thanks for joining me for today's Taylor's Take.